South China Sea, 2016. Roughly 3 years after the opening of the breach and the beginning of the Kaiju War. It was a bright morning, and an arduous one for the pilots of Cherno Alpha. Sasha and Alexis Kaidanovsky were on their first deployment, one which would fuel them for years to come. They were holding off the Kaiju Reckoner, southeast of Hong Kong Island, preventing it from reaching the waterfront. Reckoner was a crouching heap of ugly. Its body resembled that of a bat on all fours, with long webbed forelimbs that rose and bent above its hunched shoulders, and shorter, thicker reptilian hind legs. Its head appeared to be a combination of crawfish, gar, and crocodile, with eyes scattered over it. The Kaiju had 2 grasping claws protruding from its mandibles, and a tail with a thick tail fin. Cherno had punched the beast back for a good while, but eventually suffered crippling damage during the hours-long fight. As some of the Jaeger's systems started to fail, the Mark-1 resorted to grappling with Reckoner and anchoring itself to the seabed using its foot spikes, enduring constant punishment from the Kaiju for over an hour. Reckoner finally damaged one of Cherno's arms, breaking the Russian Jaeger's grip. Just as the Kaiju escaped from Cherno's grasp, the Mark-1 Chinese Jaeger, Horizon Brave, had arrived. Horizon's pilots, Lo Hin Sen and Si Chi Po, could see that Cherno was in bad shape. Fighting alone, the Kaidanovskys had managed to keep Reckoner at the Miracle Mile for nearly 6 hours. But now steam was exiting from a crack in Cherno's energy storage, and one of its arms hung as if it no longer worked. Despite this, the Jaeger continued to try and wrestle Reckoner with its one good arm. Before Horizon could reach the fight, Reckoner knocked the disabled Cherno aside with its tail and sprinted towards Hong Kong Island, breaking the Miracle Mile. Unlike Cherno Alpha, which was designed to be an immovable object, Horizon Brave was built with maneuverability in mind. Horizon's pilots pushed the Jaeger to full speed, and although they began gaining on the Kaiju, it made landfall before they could reach it. The beast began making its way north from Hong Kong's southern district to the more heavily populated Kowloon district on the mainland, destroying condominiums and hotels along the way. For 3 hours, Horizon Brave pursued and fought Reckoner, struggling to deal any real damage to the monster. No amount of punching, wrestling, or throwing seemed to faze the Kaiju. Even Horizon's cryocannons weren't able to deter the beast, as it was unaffected by the cold. The cryogenic solution would form ice over the Kaiju's body, causing it to shriek, but Horizon's pilots couldn't seem to shatter the creature. Reckoner would hammer down on Horizon with its immense muscles, and smack the Jaeger with its tail, testing the Mark-1's hydraulics as the pilots fought to stay on their feet. Being unable to cause any major harm to the Kaiju, and seeing the horrific trail of damage left behind them, the pilots of Horizon Brave knew that something had to be done soon, before things got any more out of hand. Nearby, the Fong Power Station's vast field of transformers and high-tension cables was surrounded by 80-foot-high reinforced concrete walls, protecting it from storm surges. The power station was responsible for powering Kowloon, and if necessary, providing backup power to the Hong Kong Shatterdome. For Horizon Brave, it would serve another purpose. Horizon grabbed Reckoner, lifted the gargantuan beast, and hurled it toward the power plant. The Kaiju was sent over the barrier and crashed into the transformers, roaring as it was engulfed in sparks and electrocuted to death. Reckoner's corpse laid there, smouldering. The fight was over, but at what cost? Around 7,000 were killed in the Reckoner engagement, and approximately 4 times as many injured. With the destruction of the Fong Power Station, Kowloon was temporarily without power. The district's hospitals had to be run on generators, and many of the injured died in the next week. This event was dubbed the Blackout Knockout by the press. Despite the valiant efforts of Cherno Alpha, and Horizon Brave in what was both Jaeger's first deployment. The victory was tainted by the loss and suffering of many lives. This exemplifies that with Kaiju engagements, the cure tends to be as bad as the disease. Be it nuking a city, spreading Kaiju blue into the ocean, or in this case, cutting a heavily populated region off its electrical power. The impacts of Kaiju engagements are long-term, just as they are immediate. The precursors engineered the Kaiju to cause as much damage as possible, assisting in their terraforming of Earth and crippling humanity's effort to fight back. Years after the fight, Reckoner's skeleton would form the foundation of the Kowloon Bone Slum. By 2035, the Reckoner engagement would be used as a simulated battle scenario for Ranger Cadets training in mock pods, teaching the importance of minimizing collateral damage in Kaiju encounters. The event covered in this video was seen in the Pacific Rim Uprising Ascension novelization, which is highly recommended as it contains plenty of additional information that expands on the films. That will be all for this video. Thank you for watching.